Hi again, Mr. Miller here, and gonna talk a little bit. Congratulations, you get to take your Chromebook home. And so we just want to talk a few minutes about taking care of this device, setting it up at home, taking it back and forth, kind of some to-dos that I think will make it, work better for you. And I think the first thing to think about is where you're going to set this thing up. Because there's a couple of things you don't want. For instance, just like at school, I love my coffee. If you're drinking coffee, we probably have a bigger problem to talk about. But, this doesn't, the number one accident, things spilled onto my Chromebook. Water, soda, doesn't matter. You spill something on it, you're probably going to ruin the keyboard. So keeping all that as far away as possible, even when it's turned off, we don't want that nearby. Food's another thing. We don't want to be eating food and getting our hands all over it, because they're not easy to clean, okay? What you don't want to do is, I wouldn't want to take a Lysol wipe and wipe down my keyboard. I don't want to spray it down with some household cleaner. That's terrible for a computer. There really are just special cleaning cloths that are alcohol wipes, and I think I showed you that in another video. So think about where you're going to set it up, where it can be clean, and where you're going to be able to plug it in, okay? Because that's going to be your job. You're not going to take your charger back and forth to school every day. That stays at home. Your job is to, when you wake up in the morning, if you're a group one, when you're going to school on Monday, Tuesday, every morning you wake up, your Chromebook's charged, you take it to school, it's got enough juice to get through the day, and then you're going to charge it again at night when you take it home. And so have to be near an outlet. These cords are not tremendously long. And so, if I'm working here, when I'm at home, I like to keep it plugged in, okay? So I plug in that end, and then on either side, I've got my USB port, okay? My little USB, the round one, that's where my charge cord goes. And if I plug it in on this side, then I get the light that turns on that tells me that it's charging and working, okay? This is red right now, so that tells me, oh, it needs to charge a little more. The battery's not full. I always want to go to school with that fully charged, okay? The other thing you'll probably want is a place for your mouse, okay? And that can plug again on either side, but that's the rectangular one. Slips in there. And the mouse we gave you, these are optical mice. Some of you might have had an old mouse that used to have a little ball in there that rotated. Okay, this just sends a light signal out. So it just needs a relatively smooth and hard surface to slide on. Doesn't need a trackball or anything like that, but like this carpet here would be terrible because the lights bounce in all kind of weird ways. But I can just put a notepad or something there, a hard sheet of paper. That's going to work just fine for moving my mouse around. Okay, so you want to find yourself a setup like that. And I really recommend finding bedrooms are terrible places to charge computers, because you get up in the morning, you go downstairs, you're going to forget about it. So at night especially, I recommend charging this somewhere where you're going to see it on the way out the door. So you can grab it every morning, take it to school, come back home, charge it right in. And really, bedrooms are not great places to study. Okay, that's kind of research says that. We don't want to be looking at the screen right before we're going to bed. The blue light kind of affects our brain in a way. So we always want to be done with this, maybe an hour before we go to bed. So keeping it on my bedroom is like, oh yeah, I don't just check that thing right before I go to bed. So if you can find a nice main spot, and families, that's a really good thing. Parents, just a suggestion. I like Chromebooks out where there's nothing secret about what we're doing. We're using this for schoolwork, so we should always be able to publicly show what's happening on a Chromebook. And so, someplace kind of, central to a nice spot, a desk or a table, countertop, provided there's not food on it, that'd be a great place to set it up, and it could just live there. And when I'm done, I just kind of close it up and it charges there with everything. I get up in the morning. Now, if you have a mouse at home that is just a USB mouse, you can hook up to this just fine, and you could leave your mouse at school. We don't have multiple mice to give you, so if you need a mouse, you may have to take this back and forth every day. But I'm just going to uncharge my charge cable and take this and get it ready to go to school. Okay. Now let me talk about a couple things you want to be careful of. Another way Chromebooks get broken all the time is I've got a pen sitting here, my pen's sitting there, and I slam it shut. That breaks the screen. Anything in here, there's not enough room for anything else with the screen. So be careful that you don't have things setting there that then you slam and close. The other way is for your backpack. Okay, a lot of backpacks have sleeves built inside, but some of them just go straight down to the bottom. There's not a lot of padding down here. And what happens is we go and put our Chromebook in, we put it in here, and then we drop it on the floor. And if there's no padding there, you've just cracked the edges of your Chromebook. So be careful about how you store it in your backpack. If you've got one of these little sleeves, a lot of them come with these spaces in the back. Those are especially designed to hold computers. Okay? And you can have that. You don't have to go buy a special backpack. You just have to be careful with them. Okay? So that's how you're going to carry it back and forth to school. And if you're carrying the mouse, I recommend having a little Ziploc bag rather than just throwing your mouse in here where the cord gets all tangled. Okay? And then you can get to school, you can take it out, and when you get home, come home, and we'll plug things in. And the other thing I wanted to show you was the little bit of setup you're going to have to do at your house, because when you turn it on, Chromebooks only work if they have a Wi-Fi connection. That's a connection to an internet signal that's dispersed throughout your home. And if you don't have access to one of those, we'd like you to reach out, because the district will help make sure that you've got access to Wi-Fi, because these devices do not work without them. Okay, it's not like a laptop where you can turn it on and there's programs on here. This immediately looks for the internet, and this first screen that comes up literally tells me network not available. So I have to go find my home network, and you'll have to have moms and dads probably help you with this, because you choose the network that is the network in your house. In my house, it's called Netgear 47. I've set that up. And all those networks should be, if they're not, should be protected with a password. Otherwise, anybody could just get onto your network. And so you got to put that password in there. We don't have to do this every time, but the first time, it's going to say, I'm going to go and connect with that network. And then it will do one of two things. It tells us you're there. It will come on to a sign on to your Chromebook. And if you're a first or second grader, you'll click next. And what will come up will be your little Clever screen. So you're going to have this badge at home, just like we do at school. And we'll shine our Clever badge, and on we go. Okay? If you're not a first or second grader, then you'll get your screen you're used to, which just says, oh, I'm putting in my email, I'm putting in my password, and I'll go ahead and put that in. And when it's all set, what we'll get will be our startup screen. Okay, so just like you'll get at school, you'll have links, your bookmarks. It should be just the way you left it at school. If you've added bookmarks, this should look identical. And you can work from there, and we'll talk about things you can go and do, and how to get on Meet, and how to get on Lexi, and how to get on places like that. And at home, when you're done, you don't necessarily have to log off. You can just close it. Okay, I can leave it there, leave it to charge. One thing to check about charging, if your light isn't, the number one thing that happens with these chargers is this gets disconnected. So I'm plugged into the wall, but I'm not fully plugged into this little connector. So check and make sure. You can see there's a little bit of separation. That takes a little bit of muscle to kind of close that up. Now I'm charged. Okay, and you notice I can come right back and my computer is charged. Okay. You'll get mixed comments on whether I should unplug this when I'm not using it. In terms of electrical use, it doesn't use, I think it's $0.01 a month is approximately the wattage that this draws. But, okay, if you can remember, there's nothing wrong with unplugging it, setting it there. But if you're going to forget it, okay, having that plugged in is not a problem. And then you're set to just come home, bring your computer back. Okay? So, good luck with it. I hope it works well for you at home, and you're able to do everything you were able to at school, and especially you'll be able to connect with your teacher in classroom from your house using Meet and some other programs. So, hope that's helpful. Thanks.